Hello there, welcome back to Ireland. Last time, well, we didn't really do that much. We fought a war against Cherokee, and, well, we are more or less continuing our colonization efforts. We have more, or now set up 4 colonies instead of the usual 2, or 3, I guess you could say. So we'll most likely just continue on that same old note, just allow our colonies to grow, and more or less also navies and armies. So, as things are now, we'll not be doing too much, as I said. We'll just be colonizing, doing some exploration, and most likely try and keep ourselves to North America and just allow Spain, Great Britain, and everyone else to take the southern part. It's actually kind of funny how Spain has has actually formed itself. Portugal still alive, Aragon still alive, and apparently it seems Burgundy is also to some extent still alive, but that doesn't really matter. It's kind of annoying here, also in the Holy Roman Empire. As you can see, the Austrians are doing pretty well for themselves, and it seems they'll actually be capable of uniting the empire or at least this time, which is not good at all. We'll have to wait and see. If I end up in a war with, or the Holy Roman Empire forms, then I'll definitely have some issues in dealing with Great Britain if they're actually allies. So, as of now, I'll simply have to, continue building my armies up and also colonies and everything, and then we'll see how it all turns out afterwards. I'm also going to set up another colony here. It seems that my income is actually high enough for that to work out. I will not be hiring any great men, at least for the time being. I'm simply focusing now on getting the coast done and basically securing my place, as it were. So we'll not be doing too much in terms of, as I said, trying to get ourselves complete control over or getting myself some council members. That doesn't really come as an important. That it really isn't important for me right now. What's most important is basically just securing the lands for myself here, and apparently I can focus on either diplomatic technology cost or something else. I'll abandon the idea of naval supremacy. I know that the boost was 10% to diplomatic tech, but as things are now, that doesn't really help me that much. I do have the diplomatic ideas that I will be taking, and I do also have the military tech should be as high as possible to deal with anyone who could potentially decide to pose a threat and attack. So that's fine. But as I said, for now we'll be focusing solely on colonization. As you can see, if I had done that from the start, then I'm pretty sure that my colonial empire could be quite a bit bigger than what it currently is. So, at least, I do guess that's some sound advice. If you want to do this, there's basically 2 routes to getting luck with the Irish, as far as I can see. Hope that the British actually end up getting the turmoil event, War of the Roses, I believe, or something like that. Basically, hope that they are weak. I will hit them constantly when they are weak. I should probably have broken the truce and simply gone off them straight away after that first victory. Hopefully that would definitely have kept Portugal out of it as well. So if I had done that, I could probably have been done by now. But instead I ended up with a colonial empire due to the fact that I couldn't actually beat them on the battlefield, as it were. So I'll have to do it this way. But on that same note, it's a funnier game, and if you actually don't think that you can beat Great Britain, it's definitely an idea to take well, damn it. I should have taken these Ostad, Connaught and Casbeck first. my bad, seriously. But don't I have 2 colonies now? No, I do not. That is bad as well. Well, I'll have to deal with that somewhere else. But as I said, you basically have 2 routes. Either go and deal with England or ASAP, as soon as possible, or you'll basically have to do it some other way. But I don't know. I'll have to. Yeah, I know I'm going in circles here, but what I'm trying to say is, if you can deal with or win the first war against England, then just keep on kicking their asses over and over again, because that is the way to win, I think, and that is probably what you'll have to do here. As you can see, I also got a new king, Tad V Connaught, and he's not bad, definitely not. So he can probably rule for quite a while without me having any issues with it, as it were. So I believe these have been called, and that means that we are ready for another war against Cherokee. I believe the truce is up as well, or it will be very soon, so that doesn't matter. But yeah, we'll definitely go for a war here, eat them up, and then we'll most likely go after the Aztecs and do exactly the same. I'm a little bit unsure if I should aim at closing this gap first, but it probably will be closed by the time we get us there, or get ourselves there. It seems like Great Britain does have some serious issues here with peasant issues, so that's good for me. But at home they do not, so it seems to be just superficial as far as I can see. But yeah, finishing up the colonies, and then I'll definitely move this guy up north, as it were, to try and block off Great Britain. But we'll see how it all turns out. Also forgot the fact that I have a upgrade in administrative technology to level 12. Finance Academy will definitely be built once I get the money. Administrative Monarchy and Administrative Republic. I think I should potentially change to a as you can see, Administrative Monarchy as soon as I can. I do not have any vassals, so it's no real reason for me, and the upgrade in production, or the boost in production tech, should help out quite a bit. Turks Islands are finished, which is also good. This means that I can now move my troops off the islands, and also the fact that I now have a colonist that I can send up here to try and block off the British as it were. So we'll see how it goes. They get a pretty good heir too, a 612, and it seems that the House of Connaught is rather good when it comes to administrative guys. And I can't actually complain about that. It's quite helpful, to be honest. So that should help quite a lot. I'll send these guys to Mississippi River, I think, and we'll also go ahead now and I guess bolster my forces, as it were, a little bit before we are to declare war on Cherokee again, because I think I'll just go straight out for the annexation this time, and that should be enough to give myself some extra power in the area. But if we take a quick look here, I still need to build some more ships. I always need to build ships. That is the conclusion that I've arrived at after this. But I still do have that taking 50% longer time to build ships, so it takes 1.5 years to build a simple bark. But nothing to do with that, we'll simply have to try and build them, and I'll be waiting for those 3,000 guys to get there, and then we'll be declaring war. As you know, these wars are not interesting at all. It's simply me running back and forth, chasing down their armies and destroying them. So I guess I'll just show you once we're done, but until then I will probably not do too much. We're declaring a colonial conquest war here, and there we go. We'll see how it turns out. As you can see, the sieges are basically done, and I guess I'll go for the straight out annexation. I could potentially go for making them a vassal, but I think they hate me too much for that. What I will be doing most likely is simply go straight out now for a war against the Aztecs, and what I will be doing then is simply I will annex the Aztecs, but I simply release them again as a vassal straight away. I think that's possible, so that should be fine. And Timunka, I have no idea how that's actually pronounced, but it's done, and it's apparently not a place that I had a colonist. But seeing as, I believe, where is it? It's here. So I'll go ahead now and start the coring process of the new provinces of mine. And hopefully I'll be able to core most of it before we end up in the same trouble that I had last time. But for now, I'll be marching my troops into to the Aztecs, and we'll go for I believe an annex and release. I guess that should work out if I boost relations high enough. So we'll see how it turns out. But for now, I'll just join my troops up, and then we'll be marching over there. So we'll see how it turns out. War has been declared on the Aztecs, and I'm pretty sure we will be able to win this with just the 12,000 men that I have. So it will definitely be an interesting war. But as I said, I'm pretty sure we will end up as victors. So for now, I will try to hunt down their armies, and we'll see how this goes. As you can see, Great Britain has actually set up now a colony right next to one of mine. Not a positive thing at all, but it's something that I will have to deal with just one way or another. But for now, I'll simply go for sieges. They had about 1,000 men left, if I was not mistaken. But as you can see, we do have them as of now blocked off, and hopefully we can keep that up. Because, well, if not, then I will get into some problems here. So next start, with the next, I guess, base of colonies, we will definitely start trying to get ourselves up here to block off the coast, and that'll definitely be of importance. But for the time being, it's the Aztec War that counts, and also blocking off this area here. So not really that much to do. So we'll see how it turns out. As you can see, we have gotten an expansion idea advance, improved shipyards, shipbuilding time minus 10%, which is quite good. There is another issue at hand though, and that is the fact that there are some rebels in our countries, peasant rebels as it were. No idea why they do have as high revolt risk as they do, but let's take a quick look here. It's due to nationalism and it's peasants, which is kind of weird. But I guess I'll just have to agree to their terms once we get to it, because I do not have manpower now that I can just send to help. So for the time being, I'll just go ahead and, or I could always send 6,000 men here. So I'll take the guys in Aztec, send them to deal with the peasant rebels, and we'll go ahead and try and end this war, and then we'll send people to help. So we'll see how that actually ends up turning about. As you can see, I can go for straight out Irish vassal of the Aztecs, and that'll work out pretty well. I believe this it will help basically. So we'll go straight out for the vassalization here of the Aztecs, and with that I'll simply have to boost the relation, but by the time the relation is high enough, I'm pretty sure that we'll actually have everything sorted out. I'm pretty sure also that I will not need to actually have any forces in Ireland, due to the fact that they'll still be animist, so that's not a problem either. The only problem is that apparently I do not have a diplomat to send and improve relations. But as I said, these guys will march home, and I will be using them to protect my colonies more or less. And as of now, I still have 5 colonies, and 3 of them are almost done, which is a positive thing. And also cores are virtually everything is under coring, so that's fine also. And apparently that mission made it a little bit more expensive to make things, to make it core, but we'll claim Gloucestershire from Great Britain. No real reason to not to, but it'll take 90 days before we can begin. And once we actually get this land bridge done, I'm pretty sure we'll simply go straight out annexation of the Aztecs, and then try to colonize as far down here as we can before we run into Spanish and everyone else more or less. But I also said that I would aim at trying to, well, close the gap here, and that is definitely something that I will aim at doing. I should potentially have taken these 2 as well, but for the time being I'll focus on getting the other gap, or the gap on the other side, because, well, it's definitely what's most important. So we'll see how it goes. But yeah, that's basically it. I know I'm saying a lot of things over and over again, but there are definitely things that needs to be focused on. And while I'm at focused on, I just remembered that the Incas, why not just take them out while I'm at it? Getting the Incas as a vassal will also help with borders later on, so I'll just march down there, and we'll most likely declare war on the Incas as well. As you can see, the Incas have been forced to become my vassals, and that is not really that surprising. But I do have some, well, kind of bad news, and that is that currently there are a rather huge force of Catholic zealots in, well, Norfolk, and potentially that means that in the worst case scenario here, that as you can see here, the enforcement is that Ireland gets heretic tolerance. No, that's not it. That the as you can see here, that the province made effect to Utrecht, and I do not want that to happen. So what we will be doing here is building a army at home, more or less, that I will be using, and it should help out quite a bit here. And with that, I can also potentially start messing about a little bit with Great Britain once I actually get some other forces in the area as well. The ships are almost done, and I'll actually have to use ships to get there, because I'm still pretty sure that I can actually get military access, so I'll probably ask for that, and then march by foot, more or less. So that's good. But yeah, we definitely have some problems here that needs to be dealt with as soon as possible, and that are those rebels. And not really that much else than that. We'll execute the bailiff because, well, I want to save up my points as much as possible. Where the hell is that diplomat? 19 days away. So yeah, I'll have to deal with these annoying rebels, and that's basically it. Wow. Wow. Let's see here. Can I bribe them into... No. We'll take the boat route, and hopefully we can defeat them. Let's see here. Let's see if I can get the leader, just to try and up my chance a little bit, so I don't actually run or walk to my death, as it were. Because if these 8,000 men lose or gets destroyed, then I'm pretty sure that means that that Norfolk will actually fall into Utrecht hands. So yeah, I should have been a little bit more conservative, I guess, once I actually put myself in a position where I had Norfolk. I have no idea why those guys actually rose up. That's kind of a surprise as well. But it seems that it will be a very narrow loss to me here. But yeah, it does. No, I'll actually get a victory. That is quite well. That means that at least those rebels have been dealt with. All that remains now is to besiege it. We also have an upgrade in the military tech to level 15, military tax plus 0.25, land morale increased by a whole point, and I now have Mauritian infantry. Considering that Great Britain is still 14, I could potentially have done a quick war now, but I don't want to. They still have, well, they actually have lost Austria as an ally, so potentially I could have done that now. But we'll take a expansion idea, diplomatic reputation plus 3. Should help when it comes to the annexation of the Aztecs and also the Incas, so that's quite well. But for the time being, the focus will definitely be on finishing up the colonies and all that. And these guys will definitely be set on colony protection duty, I guess. So I have 3 colonies going. We have mostly blocked them off here. I just have to get this colony done and then get myself up to the coast and try and block it completely off. And once this, or these 3 colonies done as well, I'll probably start down here to get myself a land bridge down to the Incas. So we'll see how it goes. But this unfortunately is all we had time for this time. We do have, we are upgrading or getting better here. The army force limit is definitely growing, so that's a positive thing. And other than that, it's not really that much to report. We'll have to continue building up our colonies, building up our armies, and sooner or later we will be able to take down Great Britain, because as you can see, they have lost the war. France has taken their European holdings, or they only have their island back, and also the Canadian colonies more or less, so that's fine. We'll deal with them next time, I think. Unfortunately, this got a little bit out of hand, a little bit longer than it used to be, and I do apologize for that. But yeah, I want to do or try to get my new troops out in line, but I failed. So, but we have at least made some pretty good progress. The Aztecs and the Incas are both vassalized, and once they are annexed, we'll definitely have an increase in military capabilities, as well as some other things. But there are a couple of other things that needs to be worrisome, and that is the fact that my fleet is rather small at the time being. So I need to definitely deal with that. But we'll figure it out. I need to up my naval force limits, basically. But other than that, as I said, nothing much else to report. Thank you for watching. Please leave a comment, praise, criticism, anything you feel like, and I'll see you around next time. Bye.